In this demo, we show you how to create a website from the front end that you can sell to your customers. This is a functionality for the creation of billable website that is present in GMS Multisite. Here we use a bridge or gateway with Virtumart and aim to use Virtumart to manage the ordering and the payment of the website. We start by showing you the main concept with the different steps of the processing. First, a website is created like the free website creation, with a small difference, that is, the website is created with a status pending. Once the website is created, the idea is to create a shopping cart and redirect the user to the checkout of Virtumart. When the customer has completed the order and proceeded with the payment, a notification is received by Virtumart to update the order status according to the PayPal or credit card payment system. In our case, the bridge for Virtumart is listening on the Virtumart order status modification, and when it is related to an order for a website creation, it automatically updates the associated website status. If you want more detailed about the workflow, you can find more information in the chapter 4.2.2 of the user manual, and that describes the following flowchart. Briefly, the blue box shows the calls that are performed by the script present in the menu item, and in green the calls that are performed to the plugin like the bridge for Virtumart. The creation of a free website consists in the replication of an existing slave site to build the new website. Here we use a slave site, slave 1, that is a pre-configured website ready to use. This is the website that is replicated using a specific rule defined in a GMS multi-site template. The rule consists in computing the new site ID. Here it is based on a letter followed by the Joomla user ID and a prefix chosen by the users, in a such manner that the final website is created using this rule. Here, to simplify the demo, we chosen to create the website into the same DB as the slave one, but the new website can also be created into another DB. In this case, you may need to configure GMS Multisite with a MySQL root login in a such way that it may be able to dynamically create the DBs. Creating a role to build an empty website slave 1 that also shares the directory image and template with the master. Of course, you can also decide to have specific image and template directories. To do that, go in the GMS Multisite Templates menu and create a new rule, Fresh Slave. Now that the role is created, we can use it to create the new site slave 1. In our example, as this is an empty website, this consists in using the Joomla installer. Rather than creating an empty website for the FE Demo 1 template, you can also decide to create it from another website and therefore create another rule. Once the slave 1 is created, we recommend to create a specific user administrator that will be used by your customers to access the back end of their website. To give them the access, we give the possibility to replace the email address and passwords using the website creation. Now we can create our rule to build a website from the front end. We will start by creating a rule for a free website creation, and when it will be okay, we will modifying it to convert into a billable website. To create a rule that allow creating website from the front end, it is required to fill all the mandatory fields identified by a red star between parentheses. So you have to define the domain name, select a website to replicate it, define a role to create the website identifier, select who will be the administrator user, define at least a new table prefix for the new website. The admin user is a field that the customer will be able modifying with his email and password from the front end. In general, you also define the new deploy directory and give a description and a title that will be shown in the front end. Enter also a group of templates to be able filtering it later when you will define the menu item. The group is a free text that you can use to create sections or categories of template that you want to group together for the user. The rule consists in the deployment of the new website into new directories. Verify the folders and files tabs that define the new directory structure. When duplicating an existing website, you can ignore the installation directory. You can also decide to create specific directories for the image and templates. Here, in this example, we share the directories, image and templates. In general, we suggest to copy the htaccess and robot.txt to let the users modifying it. When proposing a service to create website from the front end, you can let the sharing tab without anything selected, so no sharing of extension. When the rule is defined, you can use it and create a new menu item with the type multi-site. As you can see, you have either the possibility to display a list of slave sites from the front end, in which you have also the possibility to create a new slave site, or directly access the website creation form without displaying the list of slaves. Here we choose to use the list of slaves. Select the look of the front end in the layout. For now we have a default and a black layout. To avoid displaying all rules to the users, including the backend rules, it is recommended to filter the GMS template rules on a specific group. You can either enter a value to filter on a specific group of templates. After that, you have the possibility to enable or display different buttons present when displaying the list of slave sites from the front end. It is also possible to decide if the creation rule can be called from an anonymous or a registered user. For the moment, we will not set the billable website functionality, as we want to first test the rule. So we start with the free website creation. When it will be OK, we will enable this radio button. When it is enabled, it allows executing the script below or execute additional plugins. In the advanced pane, you also have the possibility to enable or disable the fields present in the website creation form. In our case, we require that the user be logged in to create a website. So we have to add a login module in the front end. Here we use a standard Joomla login. As we have created a menu starting with a list of slave sites that are owned by the registered user, we start by displaying the list of slave sites, and in which we have defined button to create new slave site or edit or delete existing slave site. Click on the new button to create a new site. Select the rules that you want to apply when creating the new website. In our website template rule, we just use the keyword site prefix. So enter a site prefix. Here we didn't hide the alias field, so enter a fake value. You can hide this field in the advanced pane that is present in the menu item that we have defined. Enter a site title and potentially a new email and administrator password. Here we remove the administrator email and password to avoid modifying. As our solution is using Virtumart to process the orders of website creation until the payment, we now install Virtumart to create a product for the website's creation. So go in the Joomla install and install Virtumart. Here we create a fresh eShop. To avoid that as a default shipment processing, we update the configuration to modify the checkout and just keep the minimum of steps. Now we can add a product, but to do that we need first create a Virtumart category. For example, create a category for the website creation where you will group all the products used by the website creation. Now we can add a product and enter a SKU with a description of the product. The SKU is important as it will be used in GMS multi-site and by the bridge for Virtumart to know the relationship between a GMS template rule and its price defined in Virtumart. Enter a product name, a brief description, a price, and put a minimum quantity to order with a minimum stock. Now that we define a product in Virtumart, we can go in GMS multi-site. As you can see, there are patches that must be checked. So go in the Check Patches menu, and as you can see, there are patches for Virtumart. Install them. When this is done, you can return in the GMS template rule to add the SKU in the rule. Like that, the bridge for Virtumart will know which Virtumart product corresponds to this rule. Install the bridge for Virtumart and enable the plugin. Now you can return into the menu and enable the radio button on billable website. When this is done, this means that the script below can be executed or that the plugin can be executed when there is enough website quota. The website quota is an additional fee for each website that is created from the front end and that required to execute additional script. In general, the additional scripts are executed for the sale of website creation from the front end, like the bridge for Virtumart plugin that is a gateway for Virtumart. The website quota can be purchased when you go in the settings menu. When you click on buy, you are redirected on the gms2win.com website where it presents you a range of price depending on your current quota. Now we can retest the website creation from the front end and verify that once the website is created, that we are redirected to the checkout in Virtumart. As you can see, we have a shopping cart with the SKU number that you have assigned in the template. You can continue in Virtumart as usual and select the payment method. When you have completed your order, you may potentially be redirected to proceed with payment. Here in our example, we selected the method payment on delivery to simulate the payment. In this case, we have to manually confirm the order in Virtumart. As you can see it, the website is created in pending status, like the orders status in Virtumart. This status is displayed in the front end with a list of slave sites or in the back end. In the back end, it's also possible to modify this status, not in the front end. When the order's status in Virtumart is updated, either manually or with an automatic notification like the PayPal notification, then the bridge for Virtumart is called and checked whether the status modification also concerns a slave site. When this is the case, it also updates the GMS slave site status according to the new order status from Virtumart. This is what you can see here when we update manually the order status in Virtumart. As you can see now, the website has the status confirmed, and you have the website that can be used. Thank you for your attention.